There are people who walk into a room and immediately command respect, not through aggression, not through dominance, through something else, something invisible, something most people will never understand. And then there's you. People interrupt you. They dismiss your opinions, they violate your boundaries, and you let them. Why do some people never experience this? What do they know that you don't? I'm going to show you the psychology of people who never get disrespected, not the surface behaviors, the deep psychological framework that makes disrespect impossible. By the end of this video, you'll understand why respect isn't earned through performance. It's commanded through presence, and I'm going to show you exactly how to develop that presence. Most people think respect is earned through achievement, through being nice, through proving your value. They're wrong. Here's what actually happens. People who try to earn respect never get it. People who demand respect through their mere existence always get it. And this creates a paradox. The more you need respect, the less you receive it. The less you need it, the more naturally it comes. This is because respect isn't a transaction. It's a recognition. When someone encounters a person with psychological boundaries so clear, so unshakable, so non-negotiable, their unconscious mind recognizes this person cannot be disrespected, not should not be, cannot be. There's a difference between people who get angry when disrespected and people who simply cannot be disrespected. The first group reacts. The second group doesn't need to, because the disrespect never happens. Let me show you why. People who never get disrespected have something most people lack: complete internal validation. They don't need your approval. They don't need your recognition. They don't need your validation. Their sense of worth comes entirely from within. And this changes everything. Because when you don't need someone's approval, they can't use it as leverage. They can't dangle it like a carrot. They can't withdraw it as punishment. Here's what happens psychologically. When someone attempts to disrespect you, they're testing whether you need their validation. If you react emotionally, you've revealed that you do. You've shown that their opinion matters. You've given them power. If you remain unmoved, you've communicated that their opinion is irrelevant. You've shown complete independence. You've retained all power. People with internal validation don't argue when someone disrespects them. They don't defend themselves. They don't explain. They simply observe the person revealing their own character and move on. Because here's the secret: you can only be disrespected if you're seeking respect from that person in the first place. When you have complete internal validation, external disrespect becomes irrelevant. Think about it. If a 5-year-old called you stupid, would you be offended? No, because you don't value their opinion of your intelligence. People who never get disrespected have this same relationship with everyone who attempts to disrespect them. They don't value the opinion of people who would disrespect them. So the disrespect has nowhere to land. This is the foundation. Everything else builds from here. Watch someone who never gets disrespected. When someone attempts to disrespect them, they don't react at all. No anger, no defense, no explanation, just stillness. And that stillness is terrifying to the person attempting disrespect. Here's the psychology. Disrespect is an attack designed to provoke a reaction. It's a test. The disrespecter wants to see if they can make you emotional, defensive, reactive. If you react, you've failed the test. You've shown that they can affect you. You've given them the satisfaction they were seeking. If you don't react, they've failed. Their attack had no effect. And that failure is devastating to them. People who never get disrespected have mastered what I call non-reactive presence. Someone insults them, they pause. They look at the person calmly, and they either say nothing or respond with complete emotional neutrality. No raised voice, No defensive posture, no emotional investment, just observation. Interesting perspective, then move on. Or even better, just silence and a slight smile. This creates cognitive dissonance in the disrespecter's mind. They expected emotion, they got indifference, they expected a fight. They got nothing to fight against. And that's when they realize, this person cannot be moved by my opinion. Non-reactive presence doesn't mean you don't feel anger. It means your anger doesn't control you. It means you choose whether to give someone the gift of your emotional response. And people who command respect, they rarely give that gift to people who don't deserve it. Here's where most people fail. They tolerate disrespect and then wonder why it continues. People who never get disrespected understand something crucial. Behavior without consequences repeats. When someone disrespects you, they're testing a boundary. If there's no consequence, they've learned, I can do this to this person. And they will, again and again. But people who never get disrespected have automatic consequences built into their psychology. You disrespect them once, you lose access to them. Not through anger, not through revenge, through simple removal. They don't explain. They don't give second chances. They don't have conversations about how that made them feel. They just withdraw. You're no longer invited. You're no longer trusted. You're no longer in the inner circle. One violation, one consequence. Permanent. This sounds harsh to people who constantly get disrespected, and that's exactly why they constantly get disrespected. They think consequences are mean. They think boundaries are rude. They think enforcing respect is aggressive. But here's the reality. Teaching people how to treat you isn't optional. You're teaching them regardless. Either you teach them that disrespect has consequences, or you teach them that disrespect is tolerated. There's no third option. People who never get disrespected teach the lesson once, clearly, permanently, and word spreads. People observe, they learn, don't disrespect that person. There's a cost, and the disrespect stops before it begins. The most powerful psychological position you can occupy is this: complete willingness to walk away from anything that doesn't serve you. People who never get disrespected have zero attachment to relationships, opportunities, or situations that require them to tolerate disrespect. They'll walk away from the job. They'll walk away from the friendship. They'll walk away from the relationship, not impulsively, not emotionally. Just as a simple cost-benefit analysis. Is this worth the disrespect I'm experiencing? No. Then I'm out. This terrifies most people. They think, but I need this job. But they're family. But we've been friends for years. And that need? That's exactly why they keep getting disrespected. Because everyone around them knows they won't leave. They need this too much. So the disrespect can continue without consequence. People who never get disrespected have the opposite psychology. I don't need anything badly enough to tolerate disrespect for it. This isn't arrogance. This is self-respect so deep that it's non-negotiable. And here's what's fascinating. The moment you develop genuine walking away power, you rarely need to use it. Because people sense it. They feel that you're not attached. They know you'll leave, and they adjust their behavior accordingly. Walking away power isn't about threatening to leave. It's about being genuinely prepared to leave at any moment if respect is violated. And that preparation shows in everything. Your posture, your tone, your energy. You're not trying to hold on to anything. You're simply observing whether something is worth your continued presence. The person who's desperate to keep the job tolerates disrespect from the boss. The person who knows they can get another job, the boss respects them automatically. Same person, different psychological position, completely different treatment. People who never get disrespected don't have to announce their boundaries. They broadcast them unconsciously through everything they do. The way they carry themselves, the way they speak, the way they use silence, the way they respond to testing. All of it communicates, I have standards, and they are not negotiable. This is what most people miss. Respect isn't commanded through words. It's commanded through behavioral consistency. You can't tell people you have standards and then violate them yourself. You can't demand respect and then accept disrespect just this once. You can't claim to have boundaries and then let people cross them. People who never get disrespected have perfect alignment between their stated standards and their enforced standards. They say what they mean what they say, and they follow through every single time. No exceptions, no special cases, no, but they're going through something, no, but it's different this time. Standards are standards, boundaries are boundaries, violations are violations, and here's what happens. After you enforce your standards consistently a few times, people stop testing them. They've learned, this person doesn't make empty threats, this person doesn't have flexible boundaries, this person means what they say. So the testing stops, the disrespect stops, the violations stop, not because you were aggressive, because you were consistent. Most people get disrespected because they're inconsistent. Sometimes they enforce boundaries, sometimes they don't, so people keep testing to see which version they'll get today. People who never get disrespected eliminate that confusion. There's only one version, and it never tolerates disrespect. Here's the final principle. People who never get disrespected are fundamentally unimpressed by social posturing, status displays, and power games. Someone tries to intimidate them with their position, they're unimpressed. Someone tries to impress them with their achievements, they're unimpressed. Someone tries to manipulate them with social proof, they're unimpressed. Why? Because their self-worth isn't determined by external hierarchies. They don't care if you're the CEO or the janitor. They don't care if you're famous or unknown. They don't care if everyone loves you or everyone hates you. None of that determines how they see you. Your character determines how they see you, and character is revealed through how you treat people, not what you've achieved. This unimpressed energy is devastating to people who try to use status as leverage. They expect reverence, they get indifference, they expect special treatment, they get the same treatment everyone else gets. They expect their position to command respect. They learn that respect comes from character, not credentials. And this is why people who never get disrespected often frustrate authority figures. Because they don't automatically respect the position. They respect the person in the position. Or they don't. They're not rude. They're not rebellious. They're just unimpressed by titles and status. And that unimpressed energy communicates, your achievements don't give you permission to disrespect me. Your position doesn't make you special. You earn respect through your character, just like everyone else. This makes them impossible to intimidate, because intimidation relies on you valuing what the intimidator has. If you're unimpressed by their status, their threats have no power. Let's put this together. You want to never get disrespected again. Here's the framework. 1. Build complete internal validation. Your worth comes from within, not from others' opinions. 2. Develop non-reactive presence. Don't react emotionally to attempted disrespect. Observe it calmly and move on. 3. Create immediate consequences. One violation, one consequence. No warnings, no second chances. 4. Cultivate walking away power. Be genuinely willing to leave anything that requires you to tolerate disrespect. 5. Broadcast your standards consistently. Perfect alignment between what you say and what you enforce. 6. Maintain unimpressed energy. Status, position, and achievements don't intimidate you. Character is the only currency you value. These aren't techniques, these are psychological transformations. You can't fake them, you can't perform them, you have to actually become this person. And when you do, disrespect becomes impossible. Not because people are afraid of you, because their unconscious mind recognizes this person cannot be moved. This person cannot be manipulated. This person cannot be disrespected. And they adjust accordingly. You've been getting disrespected because you've been teaching people that it's acceptable. Through your reactions, through your tolerance, through your need for their approval. People who never get disrespected didn't learn some secret technique. They developed psychological frameworks that make disrespect impossible to land. They don't need your respect. They don't react to your disrespect. They enforce consequences immediately. They'll walk away without hesitation. They're consistent in their standards. And they're unimpressed by your posturing. This isn't about being cold or aggressive. This is about having self-respect so complete that it's non-negotiable. You want to never get disrespected again? Stop trying to earn respect. Start commanding it through who you are. The moment you value yourself completely, others have no choice but to do the same. Or they lose access to you. Either way, the disrespect stops. So which principle do you struggle with the most? Drop your number below. And if you've mastered any of these, tell us what changed for you. If this resonated with you, you know what to do. And if you're ready to dive deeper into the psychology of power and influence, I'll see you in the next video.